usually sit for about an hour tonight, so I'll do a little bit of guiding, but mostly it'll be your own practice. You're more than welcome to listen to what I say. You're more than welcome to just tune it out and not listen to what I say. That's totally fine as well. If you've got your own practice, you're more than welcome just to do that. But yeah, so with that, we'll get started. Start to settle in to your seat, get comfortable. Start by noticing the feeling of the body sitting here. The general weight of the body, any sensations throughout. All the slight movements as your body starts to settle in and balance itself. You can also notice the sounds that are around you. Those things that are occurring in the moment. You can even check in with generally how you feel right now. You might be feeling relaxed and ready to practice. You may have brought some residual stress from the day. Whatever it is, you just notice what our experience is like right now. I'm not trying to fight against it in any way. If you have a regular method of meditation that you're already comfortable and proficient with, feel free to just settle into that. Or otherwise, if you're relatively new, give a few simple guidelines. A very easy way to start is just by noticing the feeling of the breath coming in and out at your stomach. Noticing your abdomen rise and fall. either simply just notice the sensations and movement of the abdomen. And when the breath comes in, you can think in and out. You can even count the breaths all the way up to 10 and then starting again. Just start to really settle in to your practice now. constantly strive to improve on. Try to think of ways we can make things better. And this attitude can come across into the practice sometimes. The practice is no real way of doing it wrong. Everything can be okay just as it is, without having to strive to change or improve anything. Indeed, practice becomes better when we do less. When we simplify. How can you do even less now? How can you simplify your practice even further? What can you let go of? final few minutes of the practice. You can just take a moment to reflect on all the different things that you've experienced in your life. However old that you are now, you've been through a range of experiences. Many of them good, some of them bad. The joys of playing with friends as a child, the elation of getting gifts, the adolescent crushes that came and went, the problems that seemed enormous at the time but finally ended and in retrospect don't seem so big. Take a moment to reflect that all these things have come into your life, they impacted you in some way, but then they ended. They ended, but right now, you're okay. All these different things came and went, and it's okay that things end. There's nothing to fear when things end. Likewise, whatever's maybe going on in your life now, it's impacting you. At some point, it'll end. But just like everything else, it'll all be okay. There's nothing to fear, there's nothing to worry about. All the good and joyous, happy things that you have, at some point that'll end, but again, it's all okay. Anything troublesome, or problematic or bad, even though it's producing some form of suffering, at some point it will end. So just take a moment to reflect on those things that have come and gone in your life and that now you're okay. And if that's the case, then things that are happening now, things that will happen in the future, they'll follow the same pattern. It'll come, it'll go, and you'll be okay. Okay. Just as we start to wake up again, come back into the room, Langdon's going to make some announcements, and after you've all been calm, he's going to tell you all the exciting things that are happening. So,
thank you, Ajahn. There are some exciting things happening. If you're interested in out-of-town meditation experience this weekend, at 3:30, between 3:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. at the Sanctuary of Stillness Meditation Retreat Centre, the Newbury Buddhist Monastery, this Saturday, there's going to be a special tranquil reflections day with a guided meditation session led by one of the monastics there. And also, if you have children, you can take those along, and there's lantern making as well. So that's a special event at the Newbury Buddhist Monastery this Saturday. Other retreats coming up at the Sanctuary of Stillness are, there's a couple in May. There's one, so I'm just looking through the dates. They're very small on my phone.
there's just so much happening.
There's a lot happening. So there's between May the 23rd and 25th, there's a weekend retreat with Ajahn Vimoka. One in June, between the 6th and 9th of June, and July the 4th to 6th. So pretty much each month there's a weekend retreat at the Newbury Buddhist Monastery. If you're looking for something easier to access, each morning and each evening we have guided meditations or group sits through the Discord platform online, so you can join that from wherever you are. That's between 4 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. in the mornings, and at 7 p.m. in the evenings. You can find out more about that on our website or through our newsletter. The teaching program next week, Ajahn Nanda will be giving the Dhamma talk on Sunday, and then Ajahn Nanda will also be doing the guided meditation here next Monday as well. Just a note, there's a special event on May the 11th. It's the Vesak celebrations at the Newbury Buddhist Monastery. Vesak is the special day when, as Buddhists, we celebrate the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing nibbana of the Buddha.
Yep.
So a big celebration day on May the 11th, so there will be no talk here on that day. The big event will be up at the Newbury Buddhist Monastery. I think that all the announcements we need.
There's also a one-day retreat here on Saturday coming up as well.
Thank you.
With Bhante Aranya Vihari, he's gonna lead the retreat just for the day. So that starts about 8:30 and goes to about 4:30. So welcome to come along and just sit for the day.
Thank you, Ajahn. Or even just part of the day.
Or part of the day, yep.
So all the announcements, I think.
Yep.
Are there any questions here in the hall? If there are, you can just put up your hand. Might start with one of the online questions.
Yep, for sure.
The online question. Ajahn, what is vitarka and vichara in meditation process? During meditation, I do feel as if I'm experiencing talking with my mind, such as in my head, my legs are numb. Recognize the sensation. Is that vitarka, vichara? Are such experiences to be called vichara and vitarka, or is it only just not mindful meditation I have experienced?
Yeah, so just for anybody that doesn't know these two terms, vitarka and vichara, there are two of the kind of foundational mind states that one has when the mind is starting to still down. They're the first two factors of jhana, and vitarka and vichara means, you could say, like applied and sustained thought. So one is putting one's attention on a particular thing and it's staying on that thing, so it's sustained on that thing. So applied and sustained thought in this kind of way means one is putting one's attention or one's mindfulness on an object, and it's starting to stay on it. So it's starting to essentially calm down and be still in that area. Now, if you're having these kind of, obviously, yeah, there's language that's always occurring in the mind. There's always a consistent kind of internal monologue there, running commentary, my legs getting numb, all these kinds of things. We probably wouldn't really say that that's vitarka and vichara. That's more just the, you'd probably more say that's what we call, again, from like a Buddhist perspective, we call that papancha. Papancha is a kind of just kind of random thoughts that pop into the mind. So those kinds of thoughts, you could say, that's more along this kind of papancha, this kind of just general mental activity. But vitarka and vichara is where the mind starts to settle in on an object. Now, you can use like linguistic capabilities to go, okay, pay attention to the breath, keep paying attention to the breath. Okay, mind's wandered off, keep paying attention to the breath, bring it back. Okay, that's interesting. The breath is cooler when it comes in. All these kinds of things, that's in some way that's starting to become like applied thought in that way. So you're using the language in that way to, in some way, drive it towards this applied thoughts. But when it's sustained, it will be just more, it's like, okay, I'm just on the breath. I'm always on the breath. So, but again, it will start to it'll start to slow down. It'll start to become quieter. So there might still be some language there, but it'll start to become quieter. So generally, yeah, vitaka and vichara are those kinds of mental qualities. And if it's going in that way, you could essentially say it's vitaka and vichara. But if it's just random thoughts that are popping into the head, it's probably not really vitaka or vichara.
Thank you, Ajahn. Are there any questions here in the hall?
Yep. There's just people online that can't hear. Yeah.
I tend to think about past and I feel regret or depressed. And then I think about future, then I feel anxious. Then I just go through every moment currently in my life.
Yep.
And it's hard for me to stay present.
Yep.
And be happy.
Yep.
And then, I just don't know how to deal with it.
Yep. Does that happen a lot to you, or just when you're meditating, or?
No, all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Anybody else think about the past a lot and get kind of worried and anxious? Anybody sort of think about the future a lot and again get kind of worked up, worried, these kinds of things? So look, you're not alone. But basically, everybody really has this. Obviously, some people have it a lot more than others, and it's a lot harder for some others. But it is, it's a kind of common thing that we all do share to some extent. So, it's not like there's anything kind of wrong with you in any kind of way. But obviously the question is, how do you not get pulled into that too much? And this is where trying to, do a little bit of meditation, whatever's comfortable for you, can be helpful. In the beginning stages, you actually might find yourself running off because you're being quiet. You may be running off into the future a little bit more, and it's maybe seems like it's increasing that, or you're going back into the past and sort of increasing that suffering, that kind of discomfort. But just this process of trying to train your mind to go, okay, well, I'm running off into the future. Okay, just come back to the breath, or come back to the body, or whatever it is. And just doing this over and over again. It takes time to do. It's not. Has anybody mastered it yet? They can come into the present at any moment whenever they want. Or is it hard? Is it hard to do it? Yeah. Still working on it? Anybody been doing it for 5 years? 10 years? 20 years? 30 years? Yeah, now 30 years. Yeah. So I'm still just trying to, even if 5, 10, 20, 30 years, everyone's still just trying to do that. It's not easy. It's not easy to stay present all the time. But it is something that gets better over time. If we keep practicing, it does get better. And just, again, through this process of going, okay, my mind's running off, I need to come back. My mind's running off, I need to come back. And just through this kind of training, it does get better. And it is easier to stay in the present. So, even though it's it is difficult, it is something that you can do. It is something you can do, but you sort of just have to stick with it a bit. And the more you can do it, the more that you're okay with things, because it's okay. I can just come back and I can stay here and I can stay with something like the breath or the feeling of the body, and it's okay. I don't have to think about other things. But it does take a little bit of time. So don't beat yourself up too much. It's not like oh, why am I doing something wrong? Why is there something wrong with me in some kind of way? Everybody's basically the same. Everybody goes through the same process. Everybody goes through the same process of meditation as well, trying to stay present as well. So it's but obviously different people have different kinds of intensities of experience. So does that make sense? Or
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Ajahn, on that note, could you talk about that idea that just because we come a bit more connected to the present moment, that there's the idea, that we should be happy in that moment, therefore suddenly we've got happy.
Yeah. That's a really good point. We have that. You're right, Langdon. We have that idea. If I could just be present, then I'll be okay and I'll be happy. And actually, sometimes the present moment isn't always great. Sometimes the present moment's actually, this is like a moment of suffering. this is a moment of suffering now, but this moment of suffering, it won't always be like that. You know, the more we try to fight against it, actually it just sort of makes it worse. You know, that kind of, I feel bad now, but why do I feel bad? I shouldn't feel bad. I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad now that I feel bad, and you know, this kind of recursion goes on. So sometimes when we are in the present, it's not like it's birds landing on our shoulders and everything's great. Sometimes it is just, okay, there's a kind of discomfort there. Okay, there's some sort of like anxiousness there. But it's okay. It's okay. It will pass. So being in the present sometimes can be uncomfortable, but if we can sort of be okay with whatever is, and we just sort of know it will sort of pass, and we don't, if we not trying to you know, fight against it too much, then this is actually something that does make it okay, even though all those different things are there. The anxiety is still there, the guilt, the regret, all these kinds of things, but it's okay. These kinds of things start to lose their power over you, because usually if you have anxieties, worries, regrets, all these kinds of things, it overtakes you. And it consumes you, and it becomes you. But again, so through this practice of just becoming a little bit more present, even though it still might be there, it doesn't overcome you anymore. It's just like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of anxious at the moment, but that's okay. That's okay. It can't be like this forever. So yeah, it's not this kind of meditation, sort of not this like magic pill either. It's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be happy all the time and all these kinds of things. Just, anybody like totally happy from meditation? Is it difficult sometimes? Yeah. So everybody's, again, sort of the same. It's, yeah, again, it's not this kind of like, it's not this thing where it's like you'll definitely be present and I'll be happy. Again, but it will get better, and we'll get better. But it's, yeah. Does that make sense? Cool.
Any other questions in the hall? No, I don't think that's the end of the questions. Ajahn, thank you.
Cool. Okay. And with that, we'll call it a night then. Good to see everyone. Okay, and we'll see you all next week or something. All the best.